The University of Minnesota Medical Center is marking a special milestone this weekend.
It's celebrating 50 years of transplants. During this time, there have been remarkable medical advances, and Renee Bonneau shares the special story of one local transplant recipient.
In the Nerve Center here at Channel 12, Scott Jameson keeps busy.
I'm basically a utility player, as it were.
But as passionate as he is about this job, he never clocks out of his true calling.
We're never going to be afraid to tell our story if people have questions.
To educate people about organ donation and transplants.
I was born in '65, and when I was a year and a half old, they discovered that kidneys weren't functioning properly.
His doctors at the University of Minnesota were considered pioneers.
I wasn't the youngest at the time, but I was one of the smallest. I was a 4-year-old the size of a 2-year-old at the University of Minnesota at that time.
The University of Minnesota became known for its pediatric transplants. Over time, research and innovation made the Youth Transplant program one of the leaders in the country.
Thousands of articles, thousands of new knowledge. We have one of the largest training programs for transplant surgeons in the country.
This weekend, the University of Minnesota celebrates 50 years of transplants. In that time, more than 13,000 organ transplants were performed.
There's a host of things that we still need to learn, but from where we were to where we are now, we're much better.
And
Scott is proof of that. In 2008, his kidney was weakening and he needed another transplant. What was once a month-long process, this time took about a week.
the second transplant was a 45-minute procedure. I bypassed dialysis altogether.
Scott says he's grateful for the hard work of U of M doctors and for the ability to share their story. Doctors at the University of Minnesota say organ and tissue donations are not keeping up with the need. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, about 18 people die each day waiting for a transplant. Mike and Alex, anybody could be an organ or tissue donor. They could just go to organdonor.gov to do so.
All right. Scotty's that living miracle right here at Channel 12.
Yes.
You're reminded that every day. Thanks a lot, Renee.